Looks like President Zelensky just gained an unexpected ally in the White House, Melania Trump. Yep, you heard that right. While her husband has been more reserved on the matter, the First Lady has reportedly been urging him not to ignore the devastation caused by Russian airstrikes in Ukraine. And guess what? She may have played a key role in pushing him to approve the latest delivery of Patriot air defense missiles to Kyiv this week.
I will do what is right and what I feel it's right.
Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump shared a moment that caught everyone's attention.
I go home, I tell the First Lady, and I spoke to Vladimir today. We had a wonderful conversation. She said, "Oh, really? Another city was just hit."
Clearly, Melania is paying close attention to the war in Ukraine. Now let's not forget where the US First Lady comes from. Born in 1970 behind the Iron Curtain, she grew up in the former Yugoslavia, a region that, let's just say, isn't exactly nostalgic about Russian influence. She's long admired Ronald Reagan for his role in ending the Cold War, and even now, she still speaks Slovene with her son, Baron. And fun fact, both Melania and Baron still have EU passports, so yeah, she's got some pretty strong European ties.
I grew up in Slovenia and I went to school there. I studied design and architecture.
According to the Art of Her Deal author Mary Jordan, Melania's quiet but firm stance on Ukraine is not surprising at all given she grew up in the former Yugoslavia, a country with no love for Russia. Jordan adds that Melania has more experience than other people in the cabinet trying to get her point across. It seems Melania's influence is subtle but powerful. She may not be in the spotlight, but behind the scenes, she's making her voice heard.
Melania Trump, thank you very much.
And here's something else. Her father, Viktor Kyiv, still travels back and forth to Slovenia, keeping the family updated on European affairs. Jordan says her home country is all in for Ukraine, and people over there are appalled that the United States would suddenly not be arming Ukraine anymore. That message seems to be reaching Melania loud and clear. Now, let's rewind to 2022 for a second. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion, Trump famously called Putin savvy and a genius. But Melania had a very different take. In a rare public statement, she described the war as heartbreaking and horrific, urging people to donate to the International Red Cross. That contrast didn't go unnoticed.
I'm my own person, he's his own person.
Before stepping back into her First Lady role, Melania reportedly spent 2 months brushing up on foreign affairs. Yes, 2 months. So she'd be ready to host foreign dignitaries again. And while Trump has no shortage of national security advisors, it seems the person he listens to most might just be the one sitting across the dinner table. So how did Melania become the quiet force we see today? First, we should rewind to January 1987 in Ljubljana, Slovenia, back when it was still part of Yugoslavia. In her home country, Melania was known for her striking looks and reserved personality. Friends remember her as serious but with a sharp wit.
What was Melania like as a roommate?
The perfect roommate. Clean, neat, domestic, you know?
Her family was close-knit, with her dad Victor working as a mechanic and her mom Amalia in fashion. They instilled in her a strong work ethic and a love for education.
My elegant and hard-working mother, Amalia, introduced me to fashion and beauty. My father, Victor, installed in me a passion for business and travel.
Melania often dreamed of the amazing place called America. Sounds like a classic American dream in the making. And soon, fortune smiled on her. Melania, just 16, was spotted by photographer Stane Jurko while leaning on a fence. Jurko saw potential in this tall, slim girl with long hair and decided to take her photo. Despite her initial shyness and reserve, Jurko saw something special in her. The photos turned out great, and her modeling career took off from there.
And I travel around the world modeling and had a great career.
Fast forward to 1992, and Melania lands in Milan, still using her original name, Melania Knabs. She was a bit of a risk taker, even doing a shoot where she played a fictional female US president. Little did she know, life would mirror that shoot decades later.
I'm proud of it. Yes, I am.
By the mid-90s, Melania is in New York with just a small apartment and big dreams. The fashion scene was wild. Think supermodels and over-the-top glamour.
I arrived in New York City 20 years ago, and I saw both the joys and hardships of daily life.
She had some risque photo shoots and even became the face of Camel Lights. Despite being a bit older than most new models, she made a mark with her seriousness and focus. Then came her big break in 1998 when Paolo Zampoli introduced her to Donald Trump.
We met in New York. It was a fashion week and it was a party, big party, so we met there.
Now, Trump, with his flashy reputation, didn't exactly sweep Melania off her feet right away. In fact, she famously didn't give him her number immediately.
So he asked me for the number and I said, I will not give you my number. So if you give me your numbers, I will call you.
Classic move, Melania. And it turns out Trump fell for this trick not once, but twice. His first wife, Ivana, also didn't give him her number right away. Looks like Trump has a thing for a little mystery.
I don't know what is Melania's problem. She just has to get over it. She's First Lady of America, but I'm First Lady Trump. Excuse me.
Their relationship started off a bit unconventional. I mean, Trump was even talking about universal health care, which is definitely not what you'd expect from him. But as Melania got to know him, she realized he was serious about running for president one day.
I have been with Donald for 18 years, and I have been aware of his love for this country since we first met.
They eventually tied the knot in a lavish 2005 ceremony, surrounded by flowers and celebrities, but almost none of Melania's old friends were there. Guess those high-profile guest lists come with a few trade-offs.
Did you feel different when they said man and wife?
No. I felt that it was just so natural.
By 2014, Donald Trump was so obsessed with politics that even his advisors were wondering what he was thinking. One time, on a flight to Buffalo, Trump's father-in-law, Victor, asked campaign advisor Sam Nunberg if Trump knew what being president actually meant. Nunberg quipped, "There were only two people who seriously thought Donald Trump would win the presidency, him and Melania."
Were you involved in the decision of your husband to become president?
We discuss a lot, yes, and I encourage him.
Melania's biography, The Art of Her Deal, suggests she's been playing the long game. The author, Mary Jordan, claims Melania used various scandals, including the infamous grab 'em by the pussy tape, to renegotiate her prenup. Classic Melania move, delay moving to Washington for a better deal.
You know, I made a lot of money myself, so it's like I know how it's to work and what money means.
Former friend and aide Stephanie Winston Wolkoff shared that people often see Melania as a counterbalance to Donald Trump, giving the impression she's a hostage hoping to be freed. But maybe that's not the case. As Wolkoff wrote for the Daily Beast, the truth is Melania knows and supports Donald and his viewpoints.
Do you love your husband?
Yes, we are fine, yes. It's what media speculate and it's gossip. It's not always correct stuff.
As Wolkoff suggests, she knows exactly who she married and lives by the same principles. She's a ruthless survivor and opportunist, willing to do whatever it takes for self-preservation.
You know, to marry a man like Donald is, you need to know who you are, and you need to be very strong and smart.
So, after 24 years of incredible highs and lows, from her arrival in New York as a model to becoming the First Lady, Melania's story is nothing short of extraordinary. It's like the ultimate American dream, with a few nightmare twists along the way. And while it may seem surreal, one thing is undeniable. Melania Trump's rise from Sevnica to Washington, D.C. is one of the wildest American success stories ever.